everybody. My name is Chloe, aka Clarely Chloe, and this is my co-host David Banks, and welcome to the Ethers podcast. This is our first little launchy episode. We're so excited to be here. First things first, I think it's important for, we'll introduce ourselves a little bit as we go through these interview questions that we had planned, but I think it would be fun to let the people know everything that kind of led up to this moment, roughly, synopsis. So I'm going to let my co-host go first and say how we met and what his thoughts were about all this, and then I'll give my POV.
All right. Basically, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be real. It was basically me just scrolling on Facebook dating, really
As
not
one does.
not looking for anything in particular. Um, and then I was scrolling, and typically when I go on Facebook dating, there's like people that would say, "Oh, I'm a tarot reader," and then you get in those conversations and it's dead. So I was like, I'll give it one more chance, you know, whatever. So I kept scrolling and I stopped at her profile. I was like, why is my stomach burning? I was like, it must have been something I ate that day. I was like, nah, this
Little
is spiritual.
indigestion.
This is a little spiritual energy right here. I was like, let me talk to her and see what's up. Got to talking, match instantly. I was like, nice. uh, was having a conversation with her, cooking it up with her, and then we instantly hopped off of there. It's like, nah, this is some great energy right here. So that's typically how we met, and we talked the whole time. It was like what 2 months now
Not
that
even, I don't think, I swear.
really.
Yeah, I don't think so. What was it, the end of,
I think it was the end of January, I
and
believe.
yeah, it was end of January. So
So not even really, not even yeah. So everything just built up rapidly at this point, and then here we are.
yeah,
Yeah.
here we are. So essentially, kind of like Mr. Banks over here said, scrolling Facebook dating as one does. And, I've had some pretty not so hot experiences on dating apps, as most people do. It's really a hit or miss. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Um, and I like Facebook because I feel like physical type wise, they show me kind of more of what I'm looking for, but like the distance caliber kind of sucks ass. So, you're in Nashville and I'm in upstate New York. So how that worked out, Facebook, I don't know. Meta, I guess I have to say thank you for not listening to my distance requirements, which is fine.
That's another
And
thing too. Just
yeah, like the distance is crazy. And I think in your bio, like it said that you were an astrologer, and I was like, don't see a lot of guys looking like you do being into astrology like that. So that already kind of piqued my interest a little bit. And then I saw a nice little tarot, yeah, like tarot card readers are a bonus. And I said, that is me. And I was
definitely.
like, because it's nice to not have to explain what I do. So the fact that you already kind of like knew about that stuff, I was like, tick, 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 like that's really cool. And within a few first couple messages, you were like, can I send my number or something like that? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm glad you asked because it was going to be very shortly after that I was going to ask anyway, because no one wants to stay in that app for any length of time.
No,
And then
no.
we got out of there. And I think the first like 3 days that we spoke, we just spoke on the phone for like hours and hours and hours and hours. Yeah, and we just got on really well. Oh, and one of the other things is I think that you liked that I had written in my description that I had a podcast already. So if you're watching this, go check me out on the Cosmic Call Out because that's the other podcast I have. And David kind of said to me, "Oh, like I've always kind of wanted to do a podcast." And I was like, "I mean, I'm a newbie, but I'll tell you what I know." Kind of thing. So we just had a lot that I feel like we bonded over, especially in terms of spirituality and stuff like that.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad it happened too, because there's a lot of things that I do look for when it comes to like dating in general. If you can hit like at least 80% of the criteria, then you got me. So
Yeah.
it's cool that we linked up like this, and as fast as we did too. Because at this point, I didn't even think about getting this laptop that I'm on, the light, my mic, all in fruition in succession like this. It's kind of wild. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It was very much a trust the timing situation, which is kind of
right.
funny. And I feel like I remember us kind of like you went out like the day after we met or something like that, and like at 2 in the morning, like your phone died, and you like kind of like left me like on red, if you will, or like delivered because you don't have an iPhone. And I'm thinking like, oh, he probably just went out and his phone died. I'm not thinking much of it. And then I get like a text at 2 a.m. that's like, I'm so sorry. You're like, I didn't want you to think I was ignoring you. And like, we're on the phone. You're like, man, like, I don't know if you were drunk. So I don't remember if you said this. You're like, I'm
Yeah,
actually like,
I kind of was. Yeah.
yeah, you're like, I don't know why I'm like apologizing, like thinking like you're my girlfriend already.
It was something in my spirit, yo.
It was, and I'm just sitting there giggling, like, that's so pure. Like, that's so sweet. Cause, like, I think that people don't care about things like that. They're like, oh, whatever. Like, I'm doing my own thing. Like, I don't owe anyone an explanation. But I thought that it was very kind that you were thinking of me during that time. And you were like, oh my God, I have to let her know, that like this is what happened. Like, I feel so bad. So I thought that that was really sweet. And like all these, like, kind of little things, I was like, oh yeah, like we really are on the same page as on a lot of different values and things that we care about in life, which was cool. And the fact that like you're very much a creator even with your music, and I kind of like do my own thing. I like to write and I read tarot. And so I think that when you had told me that you were thinking about doing a podcast, and I was like, there isn't really any podcasts with a tarot reader and an astrologer. Like my business brain was just running with it because I was like, this is such a niche. And I think it would be so cool to like talk about some of those things on a podcast because I
Fact.
haven't seen it at least.
I haven't, especially with a male female combo either.
A sexy
Or
one nonetheless.
so
Right.
I like basically like you would see like singular people, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll be either one or the other. Never seen a duo. So, and if it is a duo, they'll be in that same niche. Like there'll be two tarot readers or two astrologers or something spiritual like that, but none like this. So I'm really excited for this.
Yeah. And I feel like you and I were so like I knew so much about tarot and you know so much about astrology, but neither one of us really knew anything about the other realm, so to speak. So like and as a tarot reader, I think people expect me to know a lot about astrology, and I'm like, don't ask me. Like I really am clueless Chloe over here. Like I
Don't
can't
ask
tell
me
you
about tarot
anything.
either. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
right. But it's cool because I think that you and I always had a desire to learn, but like didn't know where to start. And so I think meeting each other was kind of divine in that way because now we get to like learn in a way that's easy for each of us because we both know so much about it to be able to teach each other, and we
right.
don't have to like sign up for a course and be lost in the sauce and things like that. It's just like an organic relationship that you can learn. So I think that's really cool. And now we get to come together and teach other people, which is so
Which is
exciting.
great. It's super great.
It's super
Yeah,
cool.
I'm
Yeah. So that's
excited.
that's the long story short, I feel like, for how
Super
we.
long story short.
Yeah, there's a lot of little bits and bops between there, but basically, David and I are still kind of strangers, but like we know each other probably from past lifetimes, and it feels very familiar and comfortable. And we're both just crazy personalities, and we thought it would just be so fun to kind of go ahead and do something like this. So for you guys to kind of get to know us better, thought it would be a good little idea to have a rapid fire questionnaire kind of thing. So we already kind of went over how we met, how the ethos was kind of born. So I'll go ahead and ask you first, like what you hope to kind of communicate with the ethers listeners and like what your mission within the podcast is, and then I'll give my take.
Uh, Basically, my mission or intent would be for people to learn because we're
Mm-hmm.
all still students of the game, and you
Mm-hmm.
be a teacher as well. But I just want people to learn from this, whether it's on a spiritual level, something that's innate within you as well. So I just want people to learn and have fun too. This ain't school, be a class clown a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Get your notebooks, guys. I'm not fucking around over here. Better learn some shit. I feel like I very much give off too much teacher energy sometimes. So sorry, guys, in advance if I'm a little too intense. It's my passion, I think, that comes through, is I'm just a firm bitch and I don't fuck around. So,
I'm aware too.
but I agree. I think I love the idea of sharing my evolution and you sharing your evolution and our spiritual awakenings and what we've kind of come to realize in an unexpected perspective and awareness that I don't feel like I've met many people that have, like who have tapped into this 5D, who understand source energy and our desire to just be in this life and to feel good and have fun, like you said, and like be a little kid sometimes and just enjoy. So I think like have some laughs, learn some things. I think that like we're very niche, like I said, and kind of what we do. So anyone that ever wanted to kind of dive into this world, like this is the perfect place to start because you could just listen to us chit chat about it until you decide you want to take some steps yourself. So just help people feel less alone, really, I feel like is the point of a
Exactly.
podcast. If you're eating by yourself, put us on. If you're doing stuff for school, have us on in the back, like do your thing. But like, I think we have pretty nice voices. We might be good background entertainment for a lot of people driving, you know?
Me too. Hell yeah.
I think it could be really fun. But that's kind of the overall goal. I think that him and I kind of have the same hopes for this, which is just to spread love and knowledge and enjoy ourselves. How did you first get into astrology? Like what year? Like what brought you to it? How did it come to be?
I'd say around ballpark 2015, it would be on the sense of me getting certain like downloads and stuff like that. Like I wasn't like just like spirituality in general. I would be like, what the hell does this mean? I was like, whatever, you know. But when COVID came, when people had a chance to actually be by themselves,
Mhm.
that's when I really cracked down. Shout out to my mentor, Dolo the Pilot Man. I was watching him like a lot of the time, and I was just learning from him and his live streams and stuff. I was like, damn, this is actually in tune with me because I'm not rejecting information. Like I'm not a skeptical either. Like I'll acknowledge like whatever information you have, but if it's something that's innate to me, then I'll definitely teach it to somebody else. And I felt resonated with it. So at the point, my pivot or my peak was like 2020, 2021 when I really got
Mm,
into it. So yeah, pretty
that's
much.
interesting. It's interesting that your peak of it was my starting of it. Because
That
that's when it like I was not the word spiritual was not even in my vocabulary
yeah, right.
until like 2020. I went to school for fashion and I graduated during the pandemic and I was like home with my family during that time. I didn't walk for graduation. I just saw my name like go across the screen that I like graduated essentially in like a little live stream. And I was living with my parents, like trying to find a job during the pandemic, which I just remember being like, why am I fucking doing this? Like, there's just a whole pandemic happening. And I'm like trying to find merchandising jobs. Like, fashion is relevant when people are dying, you
You
know?
know what I'm
So,
saying?
so I'm like, okay, I'm trying to do my part, can't waste this degree. So I was trying to find jobs, but like it was very competitive at that time because like mid and senior level executives were losing their jobs and had to get entry level. And like I was up against not only my graduating class across like all these schools, but like I was up against them too. And I was having trouble. So my parents are they just like to know. So they were asking me, how it was going like every day. And so I said, I love you with love and light. I need to get the fuck out of here because I need you not to ask me every 5 seconds. So I just asked them to bring me back to my apartment that I still had in Ohio where I went to school. And I thought I was going to be by myself because my other two roommates went home. And I get an email that's like, hey, so like this girl is moving into your apartment, like this 19-year-old girl. And I'm like 22 at this time. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean she's moving in the middle of this pandemic? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, school isn't starting. It's like May. Like, I'm confused. And shout out to my girl Eden if you're watching this. She was just this hot little blonde chick. So cute. Just like literally just like an angel baby, essentially. And we just kicked it off right away and we would chill and hang out together. And she read my cards. And I think that it was very divinely led because I felt like everything I had worked for in college was getting flushed down the toilet. And I was like slipping into this depression, as most people were during COVID, just questioning life and everything else that was going on. And when she read my cards, it just helped me feel more at peace. And so then I went downtown with her, and the next day or two, I got one of my first tarot decks and started reading for myself, and the rest is history. But I probably read only for myself for like up until I read for like a friend like in 2021 and like I started like, clearly Chloe was Chloe Essence and was Chloe Honey Healing before that. So my business has had some evolutions and rebrands since then, but I started to read for other people and then be, well received. And I was like, "Oh, maybe I can read for other people. Like maybe it's not just a me reflection thing." And so but you have to like learn the cards and stuff like that. But I became more of an intuitive reader. And then I feel like more so probably in 2022, when I went through kind of like my real dark night of the soul, is when I got more in touch with spirit and source and like did the shadow work and like dove into the depths of my psyche and transcended all of the limiting beliefs and things that I had. Like, I didn't have like a hard mentor like you did. I was like watching people like Abraham Hicks and Deepak Chopra and Joe Dispenza and doing a lot of like meditation and like reframing of my thoughts and things like that. But no one taught me tarot. Like I'm just so self-taught. Like I didn't even watch videos at home to teach. Like I just started to read and then I got better and better. And then
Really,
I
really.
I remember the first time I read for like a proper stranger he I felt like a knee pain in my like left knee and I was like, "Do you get knee pain?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm looking up like, "I can't. Huh?" Like what do you so like the validation of the first reading I had with the stranger where I was so spot on, I feel like it all unraveled from there and I was able to not second guess myself anymore in my ability to kind of open these psychic senses and get these downloads and be able to kind of recognize them. But interesting that your kind of top peak was where I was like a baby just starting. But you are older than me, so I wonder if it's our timelines just being a little off that way.
I mean, you would be, surprised on how people have their awakenings at a later age. So
Yeah.
when it's time.
Yeah. You go through something in life, and then I think at some point we're all just like, there has to be more than just this, right? Like, I think it's when you start asking questions that the
Um,
floodgates just absolutely open. But yeah, that's a good synopsis, I think, into letting the people know how we dove into everything. I'm gonna ask a little lighter, funnier question now, since that was a good, like, little spiritual deep dive. Um, if you had to be a home appliance, what home, what home appliance would you be?
I'm gonna say this again. I know we said this behind the scenes. Funny as shit. I would be a spoon. I know it's not in a home appliance, but damn it, I'm big spoon too. Fuck that shit. I would definitely be a spoon though. But yeah.
Guys, I wish, because like we were asking each other these questions to decide which ones we wanted to use on the podcast. I wish you guys could travel back in time with me to when I heard it.
And I thought I had the explanation. No, it's an appliance, right? And
No,
she's
you
like,
you you were so confident. Like you didn't even think about it. You're like a spoon. And I'm
no.
like you have known this for a long time. Like you had asked yourself that question before.
Thanks.
And I was like, I mean, that's a utensil, but like I guess pop off. Like if you resonate with a spoon, be a spoon. But like not anything like you don't look at this man and say his favorite home appliance is a spoon for numerous reasons. So it just was so unique to me to hear that. But we'll say like, because a home anything, like anything in your home, if you had to be like a thing in your home, I guess we can say a spoon. If I had to pick a utensil, because it's not an appliance, because to me, appliances are like a dishwasher or like a washer dryer or like a toaster, even I feel like is an
Probably make me feel
appliance,
like that.
a
Yeah.
microwave, the big box stuff, you know?
Mhm.
So I think that I would want to be a washing machine. A, because the vibration's fun. I like the idea of going like,
Ooh, and because you're thick and clean.
yeah, that too. I'm a big bitch, so I got a lot, and I just like the idea of the alchemy of a washer machine. Like you put stuff in that's mad dirty and it just comes out smelling delightful.
Yes, I love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah, so I think I have to choose washer machine, but no, spoon is a great one, and I thought you guys would like hearing that David thinks that he's a spoon in terms of a home appliance. That made me giggle really hard. That's a good one. Now, back to a more serious note. If you could give your younger self a piece of advice about anything, what would it be? I'm going to say 12-year-old David. If you could give 12-year-old you any piece of advice, what would it be?
uh, yeah, it's just don't be so impulsive. Because when I was younger, um, I really wasn't adamant on like taking hints or like getting social cues. Like I wasn't a nuisance, but there were times when I could have paid attention to certain things that could have got me out of danger quicker.
Hmm.
Um, but that's what the advice I would be like, don't be so impulsive. So and I would tell my 18-year-old self, invest in Bitcoin.
That's valid. That's funny. If I had to tell my younger self, like we're talking like middle school age, a piece of advice, it would be don't try so hard to help other people who don't help you first.
Valid.
You know
Or
what
at
I
least don't
mean?
hurt themselves, especially. You know what I'm saying?
I think that I was always the like friend that people came to for advice, and I don't think I realized how much that burned me out as a kid.
Heck yeah. And you're young.
Yeah,
That's
like
tough.
why am I? Well, like we can realize like I'm an old soul at this point. So I think I've been wise beyond my years for a long time. Because like why am I giving advice on things that have never even happened to me, but I'm correct and my
You
advice
know
is
what I'm
just
saying?
crazy work. And so like I think that my it was too much people pleaser in my wanting to help people, I think. Like I loved helping people, but I think that I let it take over like taking care of me first, really. So I think I would say like it's okay to tell people like no, I don't want to help you if it means like putting yourself first sometimes. So I think that would be
Yeah.
probably because like you can't pour from an empty cup. I
Yep.
realized thanks to
Absolutely.
tarot. So I think that that would be that. An 18-year-old me, don't stress too much about getting a high GPA in college because it didn't matter really.
It does not matter.
C's get degrees. I should have
Yep.
listened. I mean, I'm proud of myself. I got Dean's List like so many times. Like I did very well, but
At least you made it too. Like accomplishments, at least you finished. I didn't finish. So
yeah, I think I had to remember that was an accomplishment in of itself because I think that not a lot of people can always or even want to follow through with it. And even during like the toughest times I had, like I was committed and I saw it through, which I could be grateful for in the long term. But I had a great time in college. It was very fun regardless of whatever I studied. But yeah, good advice. I'll piggyback off of you and say the Bitcoin thing too, probably, to be
uh
fair.
oh.
If I were to send you a surprise gift, but it had to be something bizarre and weird, what would you secretly hope for it to be?
Dude wipes and tiger sauce. I'm gonna put y'all on that. Tiger sauce is so delicious. Look it up on Amazon. I know some of y'all know that Amazon is a fascist thing, whatever, but hey, that's the only place I can get tiger sauce. So good.
I
But
live on Amazon. Listen, my guinea pigs need Amazon to survive. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm grateful for Amazon.
shout
Helps
out to
me
the
out.
guinea pigs. Whoop.
Glenn and Mojo, man. Insert pictures here, Chloe, future Chloe editing.
Hell yeah. What
Yeah.
about you?
I think I've become this person who's very practical in my adulthood. So like if in it's something that like I would probably not want to buy, but like need. So like a ton of razor blades, like a girl shaves her legs a lot. So like if you could get me like a pack of the Billy razor blades, like, oh God, thank you. Something I like don't want to go ahead and get myself, but like I need it, you know? Like getting me like sesame bagels and tempty cream cheese is a great way to like please me. That's like
That
kind of
sounds
weird.
good.
Oh, tempty cream cheese. Oh, that is a great thing for a question later on that we had that I didn't think of.
Oh, I
I
mean, we
was
could do it as a bonus round.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
cool.
gonna I know
Yeah.
I'm gonna still include it in our future question, but I would say that, you know, let me see if I can think one more. Something like bizarre and weird. No, I think I'm gonna stick with the razor blades because that's a pretty weird thing. Like if I
Yeah,
was secretly
yeah.
hoping for like imagine like for a birthday and someone's like, what do you want? And like in my head, I'm like, I really want razor blades. Like it's so
Yeah, that
freaky.
is, yeah.
So I think I'm gonna stick with that. That's a good one. But if I end up trying tiger sauce, I might have to add that to my secret wish if I like
I
it, which I'm sure
swear,
I will.
you're not gonna want any other sauce. And if you do, that's cool, but this is gonna be a primary for you, I swear.
I'm excited. I'll have to try it one day. At least I'll know what to get you in the future. It seems like you're an easy gift shopper, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I can get everything else. Just give me the tiger sauce.
Don't tell me with a good time because I'm someone who all will get you like 8 boxes of tiger sauce and you're not even gonna know.
Oh my God, I'll hug you forever.
Yeah, no, I totally will do that to be fair. Oh, okay. Well, this goes into the next question. I'm so excited to hear your answer to this. What are the two weird opinions that you have that you're willing to die on a hill for?
First off, I know there's been an ongoing thing. Pineapples do belong on pizza. I'm sorry. And I'll die on that hill. I got my camping gear and everything. I'm
Consider
down.
yourself dead on the hill, because
I'm
I
clap me. I don't give a damn. And the second one is there was room on that door. Jack could have got on that door on Titanic. There was so much room, dude.
I'm losing my shit. I've said this, babe, for real. I've really been there. Like that bitch could have moved over.
So much room, so much room.
I'm shook that one was yours. I don't know why I didn't think of that because I'm passionate about that. I think I saw it might have been Kiki Palmer on the Jay Hudson show or something, but she said that too. And I was like, he really could have. The thing is that men can be stubborn, I guess, in the sense that like they're chivalrous. So he probably wouldn't have gone up on there anyway, but bitch didn't even try to let that man get up
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Like she didn't even was like, nah, babe, you can get on here. Nah. She was
They
like,
should
okay.
they should have
Sure.
never they should have never like panned to the to show the whole thing in the first place. Cause now we're all sitting there
Facts.
like, bitch,
Bitch.
crazy. Crazy. Okay, those are really great ones. I don't agree with pineapple on pizza. I don't think fruit belongs on pizza in the first place. Like just
Babe, what's
eat your
tomato then? What's tomato?
That's a
The
whole
t-
debate for another day because you're not going to sit there and tell me tomatoes are fruit.
I mean, I'm not the one making the clarification. Fuck
Well,
it.
everything is made up anyway, but like different strokes for different folks, I suppose. Okay, so mine is that I feel like soggy cereal is a crime.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
oh,
It's,
if I put Fruity Pebbles soggy in my mouth, those
it's like you got to eat those quick, like corn pops. You got to eat those quick. You know
got
what?
a little more lifetime than the Pebbles do because they got that thick exterior, but Corn
Dude.
Pops is a throwback. But Special K, I'm like shoveling that shit in my mouth so
Oh,
fast.
give me a bowl of that right now.
The only one that I feel like is okay if it's a little soggier, which still isn't my favorite, is like mini wheats. Like, okay, those are some thick bitches. Like, they still have the icing. It's like, okay, it's tolerable. But that's why I love like Reese's cereal because it's like mad crunchy no matter how long it's sitting in there.
Yeah, it still has its solidity. So I
Yeah,
fuck
so
with it.
I'm a crunchy girl, so I like it crunchy. Also, I think my other one would be like if you so I think of the show New Girl, which I really like. And in the show, one of Nick's girlfriends is basically like, I don't eat sweets. Like I'm not a sweets person. And just like looked at her like, there's something wrong with you. And I think I kind of agree with that because like it's one thing if you just like if you're more of a salty person over a sweets person, like fine. But if you're telling me that you're if in your whole life, like you're not gonna want to eat a brownie or a cupcake, like you're never gonna want a sweet or like enjoy like if I give you a cupcake and you eat it and you're like, ew, what's wrong with you? Something's you must hate yourself. Like your inner child is wounded.
Facts, because I tore some sweets up when I was younger. From time to time, I still do it, but yeah, I gotta have a little bit of sweets.
Yeah, like it like I understand there are people who don't like chocolate or whatever, but like if you it's been like a decade and you haven't had a single sweet, are you okay? Like there's something not clicking up there for me, and I'll die on that hill. You were wounded in some way, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, if you are not eating a cupcake. Like every year on your birthday, you don't have cake. Like, weird.
Oh, damn, that is true. What do you do for your birthday?
And
Wow.
if you're sitting there like fruits are sweet, I'ma smack you. No. That's not a dessert. I'm sorry. Unless there's chocolate on it, it doesn't count. And two-in-one shampoo and conditioner is a scam. It's my other
Hell
thing.
yeah. I've seen a 7-in-1 before.
Garbage. Bullshit.
Anything like insert number in one, that is a scam.
It,
Three
it,
in
ca- it
one, four
can't
in one.
possibly be. And then men's razors and shaving creams are better than women's.
I don't know.
Have you used a women's razor to be able to say that it's better or worse than a men's
I
razor?
would say I wouldn't say overall. I accidentally bought some women's ones. I should have noticed by the packaging, but it was a neutral color. So I was like, fuck it. And then I was like, hold on, these are a little feminine. But hey, it got me right. I mean, I don't use razors anymore. Like I use the electric ones because they're more
Mm.
comfortable on my skin. But when I
I'm just
did,
saying, when I get like the men's razors, sometimes like the only nice thing about women's razors is they have more of the like cushiony, soft outside because they'll like
right, that's what
moisturize
I
while you
figured. I was
do
like,
it. But it
"Ooh,
does not make the blades are not as sharp and clean as like a men's shave razor. They're just not,
yeah.
in my opinion. But yeah, those are some good. I'm so pissed I didn't think because how crazy would it have been if I came in with that same Jack and Rose shit as you did. I would have lost my mind for real. But I do believe that. So
No, fact. That's a
that was really
fact.
crazy to hear. Okay, if we can only communicate with each other using sound effects for an episode, what would be your most used noise?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah. Yeah.
the brr is crazy. I think that mine would either be like guinea pig noises because I think
Oh,
there's such a
yes.
variety. Um
Yes.
or just like I think that I'm someone who wouldn't use any sound effects. I would communicate through facial expressions only because I think that I like I think that I could like you know what I'm saying if I go like like
And the body is a language, so that speaks louder than words to me. If
yeah,
you,
me just being like that I think would be my sound effect. Hmm,
that speaks volumes.
hmm, hmm, like you can be animated in so many ways with it. So that's a good one. Oh, I'm excited to hear yours for this. If you had to get a tattoo dedicated to our podcast, what would it be and where would you put it?
I would get a comet,
Okay.
a blazing one, of course, and I'll put it like right here because I have other
That's
plans for my arms, but I either put it on my neck or on my chest.
that's pretty good. I like that. I also thought of a comic because I thought it would be pretty self-explanatory, but I don't know. I have no tattoos on me, so mine would have to be very deliberate. I'm a
Really?
yeah, I'm a clean
You told me
baby.
already.
Not a single one. I what I would probably do is have like our Ethers logo, like the red, like I would do like a shading of the red speckles, probably like on my shoulder or like my back or
Oh, that would be
something.
tight. That's
And
better
I
than mine. That's
and,
tight.
and I would have like a sort of spin energy, like black and white
Ooh,
thing,
that would be nice as a tad. What?
right?
I
I think
like.
that would be
Ooh,
pretty cool.
our logo's popping. I
Yeah, I
love
think it would
my
be something like that probably. And if your life were a TV show, like a reality TV show, what would it be called?
uh uh get back to me with that one. Give
I
me
have
some.
mine ready to go,
Yeah, go
which is
ahead.
I couldn't make this shit up even if I wanted to.
Ooh, nice.
Because I just say that a lot. Or just like thank God also could be a great reality show name. I feel like that comes out a lot. You know, Guinea Pigs Galore would be like the boys' show, probably if they had a reality show.
I actually like the alliteration on
Yeah,
that.
Guinea Pigs Galore. Or like if you wanted like a darker season, it could be like Why Try? You know, that's a little dark for a reality show.
Not again.
Or like, oh yeah, not again. Or like absolutely not. I think I say a lot too. I think that that could be funny for a reality show too.
I think I'll bandwagon with one of those because those were good.
That's okay. I think that those are some good answers. And then finally, we can do what is your favorite part about co-hosting the ethers?
Um, Basically people just wanting to like tune in and listen from at least two different perspectives of uh like I guess spirituality, right? Because there's
Hmm.
limitless, but this is the most trendy one, I guess. And
Yeah, you can't
also,
get more spiritual than an astrology reader and a tarot reader in a podcast.
you know what I'm saying? And basically us having fun with it and people just learn from this, and I hope we can learn from each other too, because I really do want to learn how to do tarot and I can definitely teach you about like the depths of astrology and stuff like that. So everyone's learning all the way around. So me just co-hosting with you, it's awesome so far. Even if we're not even doing this, like I feel like we're co-hosting in life.
Facts. Not us co-creating so many different things together. I feel like we just bounce ideas off each other constantly, whether it's this or just anything else that we've kind of been up to these days, which is really fun. Yeah. And I think for especially the podcast, like, I had to kind of ask myself, because I already co-host a podcast with the Cosmic Call Out with Victoria, is kind of like what can I fill myself up with for this? Like how is this different in terms of what I'm experiencing joy wise and fulfillment wise, because like someone might ask, like, why have two podcasts? And I think what's exciting about this for me is that I get to tap into the more tarot side of things that I don't on the Cosmic Call Out. I mean, this is still my background on the Cosmic Call Out. I can't run from the fact that I'm a tarot reader, no matter how hard I try. But I think that I don't get to dive as deep into my spiritual journey and the aspects that I think you and I would for something like this. You know what I mean? So I think that I'm excited to also learn and grow and things like that. Yeah, and kind of that in general, generally speaking. And I think that overall, sorry, I'm getting distracted, you guys, because my dad decided to hammer things outside.
Yeah, my roommates just walked in, so I think that
Insert the frog punching the air that Victoria and I put in our podcast, like ready to fight, because that's how I feel. But I do want to say, just kind of lastly, to kind of sum things up, and maybe we'll do it for our next episode if we're running out of time today. We are going to have kind of a segment which is called the Celestial Check-in, where essentially David is going to do something called Astrology, where we kind of get the tea and the inside scoop on what's going on astrologically speaking in the ether, so we can figure out how to conduct ourselves better. Okay, especially during Mercury retrograde and everything else that's going on, all that good jazz. I'm sure that what maybe we'll do, we'll record a little check-in at some other point and we can just like throw it in here kind of thing, which is fun. I think we need to put you with like a weatherman background, like an astrology weatherman. You could
yeah, I
have
was I was
you
figuring it out like
have a little mic, or you'll like hold up your mic and you'll be like, on today's, astrology forecast coming to you live from Nashville, Tennessee, David Banks.
it
So
is stormy in this bitch.
it's stormy AF. And then I'm gonna have just a little tarot talks. So after, we get the energy from the planets from Banks here. I'll whip out my deck and we'll get some tarot cards and I'll kind of give some universal guidance also in
I'm
addition.
really looking forward to that part though. Like,
It'll be really fun. And I have to like make sure Spirit's not trying to give me a 10 card reading for these things though. We gotta rein it in, give like a synopsis of the energy, give people what they need and keep it pushing. But if anyone ever wants a one-on-one reading, you can reach out to the channel, DM us on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and you guys could always book a reading with me. And I know that Mr. Banks over there also offers astrology readings. So if you guys ever wanted a more personalized situation, we do offer those to kind of get a vibe of the reading. But we're going to speak collectively for the world of what's going on energetically. And with that being said, I'll let you kind of wrap things up and we'll call it
thank you.
a day. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for watching our first episode of Ethers. It was very exciting and very informative, I guess, about us, but I swear it's gonna get way more cracking than that. We're gonna have so many topics already
Hell yeah.
loaded for like at least a couple months. We don't play about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Look, organized, highlighted, highlighted.
With my Capricorn ass, you guys already know what's up.
Shout out to them Capricorns out there.
Period.
Um, if you do want to reach us, like she said, you can either DM us. The link trees are in the description down below. Comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, they are many, but we are one.
Oh, I love that sign off, babe. That's perfect.